Hello, I'm Michael Rao, and this is Rants and Reviews. This time I'm ranting on Harry Potter characters. I know the series is a couple years old, but the reason I'm doing this now is so that everybody has had time to read Harry Potter or be familiar with the movies, because there are certain things in the series that I think cause unnecessary issues. While they are good for the series itself, they really make no sense. I'm going to start with the first character is Harry Potter. Harry is a yes man. He literally says yes to anything. Harry, go to Dursley's even though they abuse you. Okay. He doesn't even fight back. Harry, I want you to basically be a martyr and kill yourself, which is basically the premise of the seventh book. Okay. Harry, you're going to evacuate school and you're going to do everything I tell you and you're going to basically ruin your fucking life to hunt the Horcruxes, even though I knew where they were and I did nothing about it. Okay. Yes. Harry, you are going to go into the tournament, even though there's probably some rule that says that I can stop you. Yes. I don't get it. If I were in Harry Potter's place, here's what I would have done. The moment I learned of Voldemort, and the moment I learned of magic, I would have trained my ass off. Because, for one, I can get the Dursleys to knock the fuck off. Second, because they're a whole piece of shit. Second, I could have gotten power. I could have trained myself so that I was skilled enough to fight against people. So, normal people, and then eventually Voldemort. Harry doesn't train at all until his 4th year, a little bit, and then 5th year. And that's it. That's really the only depth to his character. Anything he does intentionally. He doesn't ever do anything. He's very lazy. I blame Ron and Hermione partially for that. Hermione kind of just, gives him all the information, and Ron's a lazy bastard. I mean, Harry takes a very easy class. Divination versus runes or arithmancy, which would be very useful courses. If I were Harry, I would have dumped Ron a long time ago. I would have dumped him the second I met him, because he's a dick. He's a horrible person. Now, let's go on to the next character. Which reason I'm doing this is because you're going to see there's like an integration there. Dumbledore. Dumbledore's a dick. Dumbledore, first off, is a kidnapper. He kidnapped Harry as a baby using Hagrid and put him in a home where he knew he would abuse, so he'd come out humble and kind and caring and wanting to obey authority. This is conditioning 101. This is what abusive parents and pedophiles use on their children and on their victims. And it's kind of a scary thing. And it's also something similar to what cult leaders do. And don't believe me, look up the definition of cult leaders. I will put a link below explaining exactly what I mean. You will see exactly what I mean. It is the same. It is a psychological conditioning behavior. Okay, now let's add to the subtle things he's done. First book, he placed the Sorcerer's Stone in a school full of children. Who the fuck does that? They are children. You don't do that. That is drawing problems to a place where kids are. They can get killed, and they probably will get killed. Okay, that's a dumb move. It makes no sense to do, and it's kind of pathetic on Dumbledore's half. I really have to say that. Okay, other things he does. He knows. Back to the Sorcerer's Stone. The little traps were beaten by 3 first years. 2 of them completely pathetic, Harry, Ron, and then 1 that was decent, Hermione. Okay, Voldemort is a god in human form, practically. He will effortlessly go through that. I think, and he did. He effortlessly went right through it with Quirrell, and Quirrell was pathetic. He was considered one of the weakest characters in the series from Voldemort's perspective, and it was he that went through all this. So it's like, come on, guys, you gotta up your game here. Okay, second book, Harry and the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Okay, Chamber of Secrets. Okay, 1. How the fuck did nobody notice Ginny Weasley acting so differently? Signs of dark magic were there. Signs that were explained for various times throughout the series. Nobody noticed it. Dumbledore in the 6th book actually says that he can sense magic, and that powerful magic leaves a trace that he can effortlessly detect. Guess what? He's familiar with Commodores magic. He would have been able to sense the power of the diary. Add that to the fact that the last time the Chamber of Secrets was open, Myrtle died in the bathroom. No investigations were met. Now, add that to the fact that Dumbledore would have eventually guessed it. And Dumbledore is a lot smarter than Hermione was, and a lot more powerful, and he understands Parseltongue. He can't speak it, but he understands it. So, there's definitely that. So I blame him for everything that happened in that entire book. and he allowed Ginny to basically put under there. Did nothing to help anybody. Did nothing to quell the rumors that Harry was a Dark Lord. Did nothing to do anything, really. I mean, he was pathetic. He was a complete waste of space that entire book. And he only came back just in time to take credit for things that he really didn't do, and to condition Harry more. I mean, he's about the conditioning, by the way. Look at the first book up until now. Other things I missed. He meaning Ron, who said that all Slytherins were evil. Meaning Hagrid, who says that Dumbledore is amazing and great, and all Slytherins are evil. Just saying. And it's kind of led up to this point where, and the reason I didn't mention it until now was something that Dumbledore says. He goes, the difference between you and Tom Riddle or Voldemort is that you made the right choice. That is demeaning the entire House of Slytherin. A fourth of the entire wizarding population. Now, Slytherin is not necessarily evil. They are cunning, they are ambitious, and they are very intelligent. That is what creates a Slytherin. A true Slytherin, at least. So I don't really get the whole evil thing. Whatever. Let's go on to the next book. The third book. Okay, first off, he knew Sirius was innocent. He did. He knew Sirius was completely innocent. However, he allowed him to be put into jail because he's the person who cast Secret Group spell. He would have known who the person he's casting it on. He's the only person that knows how to do it, or maybe a couple people do, but like he's the only person we know of that can do it. And even if Lily did it, they would have told him because he was in charge of their protection, of their safety. He would have known. And I know for a fact he knew about the Animaguses. Just, Dumbledore knows everything. It's just how he is. And then just the whole, letting Remus get fired for being a werewolf, and just a bunch of their shit. And the fact that the Marauders never got punished for their actions, which says a lot, by the way. Even though they tortured Snape, even though I hate Snape, but he didn't deserve it as a kid. Now let's go to the next book. Okay, enough said. First off, he's never trained Harry, and he should have. They never said you couldn't train people, and they never said that you couldn't get help from your teachers. You just can't rely on them. Okay, he let Harry, a fourth year, go into the chambers, go into the Goblet of Fire, the tournament, the Triwizard Cup tournament, whatever, and he did nothing to help him the entire time. At all. And he even said that he wanted to use him as a bait. I'm like, bitch, no, you don't do that to a kid. And then he's basically he did nothing to help the abuse that Harry was getting from his various students. So it's like, seriously, this is kind of sad. Okay, next book, fifth book, Order of the Phoenix. He literally distanced himself from Harry. He let Snape mind rape Harry. He was basically a waste of freaking space. He did nothing against Dolores Umbridge, who was horribly abusive to the children, or Snape, who was also always horribly abusive to the children. Yes, he didn't have the power to fire her, but he could have brought her up in charges for using a blood quill. McGonagall didn't do anything about that either, so she's just as guilty in my mind. I like her sometimes, but yeah. So then there is, I'm just gonna skip that because there's so many problems with that it's just, there's the whole Order of Phoenix thing that he kind of just the whole I'm going to stun you versus kill you, which makes no sense because you're in a war, you kill, that's how it works. It quells both sides. Sixth book, again, Waste of Flesh. He gives Harry's memories of Voldemort and things that help him piece things together, but he does nothing to teach Harry. He doesn't train him. He doesn't get Harry prepared to fight Voldemort because he wants him to die. That is the fundamental disciplining and training he's doing for Harry. Is Harry's acceptance of death. Harry's entire life up until the seventh book, but I think it's seen best in the sixth book, is to get Harry to be willing to kill himself or be killed by Voldemort. That is the entire premise of the series. That is abusive 1,000%. What he could have done is trained Harry, but told him, guess what, that thing in your forehead can be killed if Voldemort attacks you and kills you. Therefore, you're good. Let him kill you eventually. But you can duel him and kick the fuck out of him. Just go, what? He does nothing whatsoever. It is scary. It is scary shit. Yeah. Okay. And it's like, But the thing is, when people look at this and they go, "Oh, Dumbledore's such a good guy. Harry's such a good guy. Naruto's such a good guy." No, these characters are useless and kind of dumb. Other things I've heard, I hear people say Snape's a great guy. Snape is not a great guy. He makes 2 good choices in the entire series. No, 3 or 4 maybe actually. 2 are the oath to Dumbledore to protect Harry, which he doesn't do ever. It's the same. Then the one time he actually did kind of protect Harry, which is in the first book, being somewhat of a buffer in the 7th book to preventing deaths of students, a buffer barely, and being a spy. That's it. 4 things. He basically abused every single character that was not a Slytherin. Harry and Neville and Ron, although Ron deserved it in my mind, but whatever. Harry and Neville. And then he was a douche monkey to everybody. He insulted Hermione after Malfoy did a curse on her to make her teeth grow very, very long. He's a douchebag. I don't like him. He's a completely worthless character. I would have killed him. If I were Harry, I think I would have killed him very, very quickly because he does not deserve to live. I like him better in the Harry Potter movies because he's more redeemable. There's more likable qualities about him, but that's it. And then there's other things he do. He was in love with Harry's mom, but it was more of an obsession. And I do blame Lily a little bit because she did something. The only reason she really kind of broke up that whole relationship with him, the friendship with him, is because he called her something mean. Well, he did apologize for it a lot, and he did mean it. She didn't accept it, so that was kind of her fault, but whatever. His choices. Okay. And then other things is the whole mind raping session to Harry and treating Harry like garbage all the time. I'm sorry, I get that you're not supposed to be like the super nice guy. And he's also a poor teacher because all he does is write things on the board and bitches at everybody who doesn't do it perfectly. That's not a Slytherin. I mean, seriously, Greg and Goyle get complimented when Neville, who's competent, gets insulted. Just saying, doesn't make sense to me. I just think he's a worthless character. In my fan fictions, I like hurting him, I like killing him and torturing him, and I like watching him get hurt because he deserves it. He's a very bad person. So yeah, that's my first rant on Harry Potter. The next time I do this, I'll be ranting a little bit on Voldemort, Ronald Weasley, Draco, and Sirius Black. Yep, that's it. I'm going to include a couple of fan fiction stories, one of which is my own. Another one is one of my favorites. It's called Aspirations. It is a very interesting one that starts in the 4th book, around the time Harry gets the name, comes out the Goblet of Fire. And it is a very interesting twist on things, because it's kind of what I would have done. I like this book because it gives Harry motivation, and it shows a darker side to Harry. I like that. And another one I think I'm going to put on here is Breeding Darkness, or Descent into Darkness. I'm not sure which one's first. Harry and Voldemort become lovers, and Voldemort's a lot more sane in this one, and it gives a different perspective on maybe how Voldemort sees the world. Because we all think he's this insane monster, but at the same time, he may be in the book series, but we don't really see how he views things, because he views things that he's doing it right. Well, Dumbledore is the whole there's an expression called the expression that goes, the path to heaven the road to hell is paved in good intentions. So yeah. Anyway, comment below if you have any problems, issues, concerns, or compliments, or whatever. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Yeah, that's it. See you guys later. Bye.